What makes a main character unlikable or bad? We all know there is a big difference between a poorly written character and a character who simply does bad things. The point is, even though Yuji is a good person, he can still be considered a bad main character. If so, why? To figure out if Yuji is a good or a bad main character, we need to cover a few things first. Selfishness versus selflessness. So which one of them follows the right path? Yuji continuously sacrifices himself to save others, but Gege doesn't reward him for it. On the other hand, Sukuna does whatever he wants and gets the main character treatment. Why is that? Yuji is a good person who simply wants to save others and dies surrounded by many people. However, every time he makes a selfless decision, he ends up making things worse. Some people can't accept that being selfless to that extent is an actual flaw. Living and dying solely for the sake of others isn't a good thing. Yuji is unable to unlock his true potential because he doesn't view himself correctly. Megumi is a prime example of someone who has lost himself because he can't see the value of his own life. Yuji needs to break out of this mindset or his worst nightmares will come true, dying all alone. Yuji tends to avoid his negative emotions and he usually doesn't want to confront his inner demons, which is why he always ends up like this. Why do some people believe Yuji is a bad main character? Well, because he doesn't get the typical main character treatment. He doesn't get random power-ups and he doesn't get away with making mistakes. But isn't that a good thing? Some people who watch a lot of shonen might say a straight-up no to that question because it's pretty unconventional even though it's more realistic. Gege intentionally designed Jujutsu Kaisen in a way so that Yuji wouldn't overshadow the rest of the characters. This approach makes the side characters more special. So it's not that Yuji is a bad character, rather he plays the role of a cog in the story by his own choice. Yuji's breakthrough will happen once he stops viewing himself as a simple cog and starts seeing himself as a genuine individual who can sometimes prioritize himself and make selfish choices over others. Yuji is a fascinating main character. Throughout his own story, he's often pushed to the sidelines and ridiculed for his naivety, lacking a clear long-term goal. However, these traits don't diminish his role as a main character. Instead, they make him more relatable and complex. Despite being a likable and kind-hearted individual, Yuji doesn't fit the mold of a typical protagonist who gets away with everything. He's treated like everyone else in the story, which adds more depth to his character. Let's see what path Yuji chooses in the end. Will he learn to be a little bit more selfish? Can he break from his self-loathing mindset? I hope so, because that could potentially turn him into the best new-gen protagonist.
このままじゃ俺はただの人殺しだ。